Welcome everybody to the Pancho Crystal Hour show here on jjlnradio.info. As you can see, we're not in our normal studios. We are broadcasting today from Miami, Florida, where I just attended an incredible event with Pancho. It was called Earth Dance, and we're here with Jared. And I'd like to introduce, you see a whole bunch of them. Let's start with you. Will I Am. What an incredible journey I've been on for the last 5 days with you. How are you?
Excellent. It's an honor to be here. It's good to have flexible expectations because more and more amazing things just keep showing up. So
Correct.
It's just seeming to be another marker in the destiny path.
Correct. You know, it's really interesting when I met you. Well, I met you just a couple of days ago. When I talked to you on the phone, you didn't know Pancho or anything about Pancho, but you had an experience with Pancho even before we met each other. You told me on the phone. Could you talk to me a little bit about that, what it was?
Indeed. Well, my practice in ability to read and sense energies is something that I'm quite familiar with, and about a couple of weeks ago, Brother Jared was having a birthday party, and we were there hanging out, and Jared had just mentioned that he had been with Pancho and hadn't really said much about it, and I started receiving a strong pulse of energy. At first I thought it was just something in the room, something in my environment, and I didn't so much give it the attention. But when I spent a few minutes speaking to Jared and he spoke about Pancho again, the pulse got stronger. The pulse was in my heart, and at the same time, I could feel an effect on my thoughts subtly. So I knew something was going on, and whatever energy source is present with Pancho is most definitely noticeable. And I just feel like I just tuned into a strong signal that it's been broadcasting for who knows how long.
Correct. And strong enough that you were part of this Earth Dance, and you built a beautiful altar for Pancho. And this altar, we can see pictures of it behind us in the green screen right now. You guys don't know that, but we're going to see pictures on the green screen. But you built a beautiful altar. And this is something similar to what you built because it's a grid. And then we're surrounded with all these crystals that are surrounding Pancho. Could you tell us a little bit about what this grid is, what it represents, and why all these crystals are around Pancho?
Most certainly. Well, at the moment, Pancho is our guest of honor inside of this healing grid. I've given this energy grid that we're sitting in, which is a geometric structure combining crystals and a few different subtle energy technologies. Pancho being inside the center of the grid is very cool because this grid amplifies and fine-tunes crystal energy, and I constructed the grid in order to assist with rebalancing energy systems. So with Pancho being inside and our guest of honor, he is able to work with us much more intricately in our own energy field just because we're all in the grid. So it's very neat to have the opportunity to have such a powerful presence inside of a living crystal. And this grid most certainly is already responding. The energy is already beginning to build. I can feel it, and it's going to, I'm sure, go to all kinds of places.
Correct. Now, you say that there's like information, and I talk about information when I talk to my viewers or when I talk at some of my presentations that I have with Pancho. We're constantly talking about the information in the crystal. Enlighten us a little bit about what information you've received and what information is available for all of us.
And what is in formation through the awareness that we can connect in by participating in a relationship with Pancho. Because the information is our perception of, say, a static imprint or memory stored inside the crystal, though the memory inside of the crystal is not just what has been created, it's also connected to what's yet to be created. So Pancho's connection to memory is in a very unique relationship with the universe itself, and that's because of the intentions and the wizardly skills that were put into the crafting of this design. The information is stored holographically on different dimensional levels, which can be accessed in different ways, though the access codes to Pancho most certainly are connected to the playful nature of the heart. And in order to access the memory inside of the crystal, there has to be a certain percentage of sincerity and honor and respect and love within the being in order to even get a glimpse.
When we talk about activation and about being activated, we have some crystals that are placed around Pancho. They're being activated right now, aren't they? What does that mean that they're being activated?
Well, they're being activated because Pancho is transmitting many frequencies of energy as it, for one, bends the light in our environment and refracts that back to us, and then all of the subtle radioactive frequencies of Gaia's being, which were encoded in the crystal for the many, many thousands of years of the crystal's formation, let alone since it's been carved and specifically programmed. So the activation really is within the connection of the wavelength of light that being, which we call Pancho, holds.
Okay. Just as the crystals are being activated, we ourselves are being activated. Every single person in this room is being activated.
Indeed, yeah.
And at a cellular level and at a DNA level.
Indeed.
And what are the benefits of being activated?
Well, the benefits of being activated is we are suffering because of lack of access to dormant functions within ourselves, which are necessary and vital for higher brain function and balancing ourselves in the dynamic changing world that we live. The shape that we're in right now is actually the geometric pattern of the DNA itself. So the connection between crystals and the shape that we are in as well is connected to the crystallization of our DNA, because our DNA is crystals.
Very interesting, very interesting. So, and for the people that are viewing us and are listening to us right now, what are they getting an activation just by watching us, or by seeing Pancho being here? Indeed.
The activation is based on a willingness to participate in the transformation of consciousness, in the awakening of our purpose and relationship to the earth. So as long as there is even the most minute degree of willingness to love and bless the earth and be aware of what is good in the creation, then yes, they are receiving the energy.
Cool. You know, and it's been like a journey for me with Pancho, and also that connection that I've gotten with the earth. Because before I had Pancho with me, I didn't really, I hate to admit this, but I really didn't give a hoot about our planet. I never recycled. I never really paid attention, and all these pollutants that we put out and everything. Ever since Pancho's been in my life, and especially after a ceremony that I partook in a couple of weeks ago, where I really got connected with the Amazon and with the rainforest, and being here with all of you guys, that I totally hear him loud and clear about taking care of the earth and loving the earth and loving our mother. I actually, ever since I've been aware of even that, even my relationship with my mother has changed, and it's pretty darn amazing. So what, could you give us a little bit more, or explain to me a little bit more about his relationship to Mother Earth, to Gaia?
His relationship to Gaia, Mother Earth, is a sacred and precious one, because it is connected to an awareness of time which we have long forgotten. And the awareness of the consciousness that constructed this sacred being, this sacred object, anchored within the manifestation of this design, a connection to our highest past and the the true path that we have walked, and the highest future, and the true future that we are here to connect with. So I feel that Pancho is here to help us navigate as we shift through dimensions and cross through the wormholes within ourselves. We need to stay centered to the right frequencies because the gates within the Earth's consciousness are opening, and that energy can flood us into many spaces.
And is this what we talk about when we talk about the shift?
Indeed, the shift is, again, the effect of this cyclic nature in the closing of the great cycle that we're living, riding the big wave.
Riding the big wave. That's absolutely amazing, what we're listening to right now. And we're going to be going on a little commercial break. Okay, so we are going to, if the ladies would play a little bit of their drumming and a little bit as we are going out to break right now, and you're listening to the Pancho Crystal Hour here on JJLM Radio.